Los Angeles shimmered with evening lights as Eleanor Crawford stepped out of her Beverly Hills home. At 55, she remained a vision, slender, with silver hair that caught the glow of the city, framing her face with an ethereal elegance. Her eyes held secrets she'd never shared, yet she still turned heads wherever she went. Tonight, a charity gala at a downtown art gallery awaited, showcasing young artists. Eleanor thrived at such events. They offered a fleeting escape from the emptiness that lingered within her. Before the mirror, she adjusted her ivory gown, its fabric accentuating her graceful figure. Eleanor knew her presence commanded attention, but the thrill had faded over time. Her husband, Richard, a successful lawyer, was away in New York on business. Their marriage had become a hollow routine. Polite exchanges, public smiles, no warmth. Their daughter, Lillian, a 30-year-old fashion designer in Santa Monica, rarely called. The distance between them cut Eleanor deeper than she admitted. She grabbed her clutch and slid into the waiting car. Los Angeles pulsed around her, and Eleanor hoped the night would quiet her restless heart, if only for a moment. The gallery buzzed with life, laughter, clinking glasses, a string quartet's soft melody. Eleanor took a glass of white wine and wandered among the paintings. Most were bold, modern, but one stopped her. It showed a woman on a cliff above the ocean, her dress billowing, eyes brimming with longing. Eleanor's breath caught. The image echoed her youth, free, dream-filled, unburdened by lies. She looked away and saw him. He stood nearby, chatting with guests. Around 60, with silver hair like her own, and a dark suit worn with artistic nonchalance. His piercing eyes met hers. Eleanor froze. James. She turned, heart racing, sipping her wine to hide her panic. 35 years had passed, but his face was unmistakable. She prayed he wouldn't notice her, but he was already approaching. Eleanor. His voice was soft, surprised. "Is that you?" She forced a smile, though dread surged within. "James, it's been a while." They exchanged pleasantries, tension thick between them. James said he was an exhibiting artist. Eleanor nodded, but her mind drifted to the past. 35 years ago, Eleanor was different. In a cramped West Hollywood apartment, she chased dreams of Hollywood stardom. Nights were spent at parties with musicians and artists, all as untethered as she. James was one, a painter, penniless but passionate, his art a fire that drew her in. They met at a Malibu party, and their romance ignited. They roamed beaches, shared dreams, kissed under stars. James painted her, making her feel like his muse. But their world was unstable. No money, no anchor. When Eleanor found she was pregnant, fear consumed her. James offered marriage, but she saw he wasn't ready. Neither was she. Then Richard appeared. Older, wealthy, steady. He adored Eleanor, promising security and status. She accepted, though her heart lingered with James. To sever ties, she told James she'd lost the baby. He believed her, vanishing from her life. Eleanor buried the truth, convincing herself Lillian would thrive with Richard as her father. But Lillian's dark eyes, so like James's, haunted her with guilt. Life with Richard was comfortable, but distant. He worked endlessly. Eleanor played the perfect wife, galas, dinners, camera-ready smiles. At home, she felt alone. Richard wasn't cruel, just detached, treating Lillian as his, but never connecting. Lillian grew rebellious. As a teen, she fought with Eleanor, accusing her of living a lie. Eleanor tried to bridge the gap, but her secret stood in the way. When Lillian moved to Santa Monica, she buried herself in work, growing ever more distant. Eleanor filled the void with parties and elegance, but alone she thought of James and Lillian, and the truth she hid. In the gallery, Eleanor and James found a quiet corner. He spoke of his life, unmarried, devoted to art, with shows in Paris and London. Eleanor asked about the painting of the woman on the cliff. "It's you," James said softly. "I painted it, remembering you." Tears welled in her eyes. She wanted to confess about Lillian, but fear stopped her. Instead, she asked, "Are you happy, James?" He smiled sadly. "Are you?" They talked late, and Eleanor felt their old spark flicker, but dread grew. What if her secret surfaced? The next day, Eleanor was restless. She drove to Lillian's Santa Monica apartment, needing to speak. The place was chaotic. Sketches, fabrics, coffee cups. Lillian looked tired, her dark eyes piercing Eleanor. "Why are you here, Mom?" she asked sharply. Eleanor broke. She confessed, James, their love, her lie that he was Lillian's father. Lillian listened, fists clenched. When Eleanor finished, Lillian erupted. "You lied my whole life. How could you?" She threw Eleanor out. Devastated, Eleanor returned home, feeling her daughter was lost. That evening, Richard returned. He saw her distress, pressed for answers. Eleanor tried to dodge, but his gaze broke her. She admitted Lillian wasn't his. James was her father. Richard's face hardened. He stood, voice cold. "You destroyed us, Eleanor. I raised her as mine. You made a fool of me." He stormed to his office, slamming the door. The next day he packed and left for a hotel, saying he needed time. Eleanor knew their marriage was over. Alone, her world crumbled. A week later, Eleanor got a letter from James, asking to meet. She agreed, heart pounding. They met at an oceanfront cafe. James brought a painting, a portrait of young Eleanor, kept for decades. "I saved it," he said. "It was always you." Eleanor couldn't hold back. She told him about Lillian, her lie that the baby was gone. James paled, listening. He didn't accuse, only asked, "Why keep it from me?" "I was scared," she whispered. "For you, her, me." James took her hand after a long silence. "I don't know fatherhood, Eleanor, but I'll try, for Lillian." She wept, a weight lifting slightly. Lillian ignored Eleanor's calls for weeks. Eleanor sent letters, apologizing. No reply. Then Lillian appeared at the house, holding a childhood album. I met James," she said. "He told me about you. I'm not ready to forgive, but I'm tired of hating." Eleanor hugged her, tears falling, hope stirring. Richard sent divorce papers a month later. He refused contact, but once called, "I loved Lillian as mine. Your lie stole that." Eleanor apologized, knowing he wouldn't forgive. She accepted it. Eleanor and James didn't rekindle romance, but became friends, sharing art and memories. Lillian grew closer to James, a cautious bond forming. Eleanor shed her masks. Truth freed her. Los Angeles glowed, and Eleanor saw in its lights not just her past, but a new dawn.
If Eleanor's journey through hidden truths and family secrets captivated you, give us a thumbs up to let us know. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss more stories that reveal the heart's deepest secrets. In the comments, tell us what you would do if you revealed a secret like Eleanor's. Should she have told the truth earlier? Or was she right to protect her daughter's world? We read every comment and look forward to hearing your thoughts.